Clubhouse Shenanigans down there. That's why I shouted him out. He definitely got it.
And Clubhouse Shenanigans, Clubhouse Shenanigans is in the. Hold on, one mic. Clubhouse Shenanigans is in the room, so this is going on YouTube. Man.
Wait, what?
See, this is what I'm saying about niggas. They want to talk about her being fat.
Did you guys already talk about the gun hoax that they want the fake shot
They
up at
always
Zerk?
talk about her being fat. This is why I didn't understand why they tried to put fat shaming on her.
Right, that don't even make sense.
That don't even make sense.
No sense at all.
That's what I'm saying. It's like me. That's like calling like a nigga that's in a gang shaming, or a nigga that's, you know what I'm saying, basketball player shaming.
I don't.
Wack,
I
you know
don't
that
think it's
person that filed that
it's-
report on her decided to actually go back and try again to be a part of her tour.
They only got mad because she let them go.
Right.
I said, yo, whoever this person is, Lizzo, let them go, right? And listen, if she wants her dancers, she wants her dancers a certain way. That's it. I don't give a fuck if she 500 pounds, bitch. If you a dancer, you ain't supposed to be over 140. If you hitting 155, hey, motherfucker, you gaining too much weight. As a dancer, I don't give a fuck what I am. Your job description says this. That's not body shaming.
Okay.
That's the criteria it takes to hold that spot.
I think the perspective or why people are accusing Lizzo of X, Y, and Z, it really comes from the fact that Lizzo's been an individual who's been promoting body positivity and or fat acceptance, or running that movement as a big girl. In turn, I guess it left a sour taste in specific people's mouths hearing that she said X, Y, and Z. But I get it though. If it says you're not supposed to be over a certain weight size in order to perform, then that's just what it is. You signed up. Them girls were working out on that TV show or that little, because it was a show. It was a whole series of them training to join and be on her tour. So it's like, again, if that was a part of X, Y, and Z, I get it. But the whole phenomenon of whatever happened in Amsterdam with the banana, that's weird.
That ain't weird.
That nobody asked them
wait.
to go there. Nobody made them go.
Hold on, that's not weird. Ain't nothing weird about that, because it was an after party that if you were part of the entourage, you got a VIP interest to it, invite to it. This had nothing to do with Lizzo's set. This is everybody's free time. You're at a strip club where they do all kind of shit. I've sat there in a circle and they say, Wack, they done handed me a shot. Take the shot, take the shot, take the shot. I put the motherfucker right back down on the table. So you want to blame Lizzo because you weak, because they're chanting, telling you to do something that's part of this environment. Hit the blunt. I done had all them chants, the whole shit watching me. I throw the motherfucking blunt to goddamn ice. Why is that Lizzo's fault that you fell victim to peer pressure?
Can I get an idea of exactly what it is that they said to her?
Man, they saying now they talking about she was body shaming because she told them they had to lose weight, or not even her, the people that run her dancers. Bitch, you a dancer, right? Then they said, well, she invited us to a party, a strip club, where they made me eat a banana out of a bitch's pussy. No, that's part of the show. And they start chanting your name, and you did it. This ain't Lizzo on stage.
So her being removed from the Super Bowl, what is the official? Do anybody know the official reason?
Nigga, this where it's coming from.
It's just bad for business.
Bad publicity.
Yeah.
So just like you was talking about with the situation with your artist and this girl, that's the same type of shit. They basically pulling out because it's some domestic. I mean, not domestics. It's just a bad publicity type thing.
But they pick favorites too. For instance, that whole phenomenon that happened with the Super Bowl and Justin Timberlake whipping Janet Jackson's titty, only for him to come back many years later and actually perform at the Super Bowl again. It's just bullshit. It's just whatever is happening in the now matters. Will she be able to perform in the future? Possibly. But even with that being said, they called Justin Timberlake back to go perform the Super Bowl himself after everything that happened the first time.
Damn,
and see, that's where the favoritism comes in, because this woman has just been accused of something. She hasn't been found to have done anything, and her losing performances and things, that's so hypocritical, because just like Tommy said, one performer can do something, they're right, stayed in the spotlight. She just only been accused of something, and they're taking all this stuff from her. Why does the entertainer ever have any recourse when they've been accused of something that they haven't done?
No, once the ball start rolling, that's why it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Once it start rolling, the media start rolling, everybody believes it, and they just act like that's what it is.
They canceled her right now. They're canceling her right now.
So wait.
Who gives a fuck about the truth when
They
it's
canceling her right now.
On some shit, like let's say that you had the Super Bowl, right? Like you got the Super Bowl bid, right? And you didn't build around this show. I'm just talking on a business standpoint. So you couldn't book other shows, and then they cancel that show. Do you still get your front end or something like that from that? Like what?
I mean, whatever she got paid up front, they got paid up front.
Oh, you still get your front end? Okay, yeah. Because I'm like, because they can't just cancel a show, because that caused you to train for the show. That caused you to like put resources. So I feel like you still could go get some money.
Brock, I look at that as like that Kanye West stuff, right? Like how they try to cancel him, but they still need to pay him, right? So they had to pay this man.
Yeah.
To try to hold his pay.
Are you talking about with Adidas when he had all these?
Yeah, I look at that as the same, and then on top of that, you got to think Jonathan Majors. It happened to him as well. So when those allegations came out, the Army, he was going to do this like Army campaign ad. They dropped him from that. They dropped him from a lot of things, and now to come to find out that the person that lied on him ended up fleeing the country. So, and he looked like the trial was going his way, you know what I'm saying? So he's an innocent man. So Disney is saying like basically we're not going to drop him. He's going to continue to be chained in the Marvel universe. So that's a good thing. But
what did the Army do?
He got a whole bunch of shit dropped.
He had a brand deal. It was just a brand deal.
Did the Army let him come back?
I don't think so.
That's what be crazy to me. Like
that's how it's kind of always been. Like for instance, even with the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, you saw how that went down, and courts were definitely not in her favor. He got dropped from everything, but I believe Christian Dior was the only company that came back and said, "Fuck the allegations, I'm gonna go support him," and they did a whole Dior Sauvage campaign with him that went viral. So it's really up to those companies, but again, if there's something in the headlines and news that could be very fishy, i.e. a lawsuit, sexual assault, any of those things, it wouldn't really matter. If it's bad for business, these companies don't want to work with you. For instance, what was that, the trans girl, Devin or something, when she did the whole Bud Light campaign, a lot of people didn't want to buy Bud Light anymore, and therefore they dropped her and then decided to go for an all-American campaign instead. So.
Was that why niggas was mad at Bud Light, bro?
Yeah.
Cause I remember, like, I thought it was something to do, cause I remember around that time, niggas was mad at that.
Lizzo be eating.
What you said?
Yes, that is her.
What he said?
I want to make sure.
No, that is her.
Yeah, Lizzo big, man. Lizzo big, but she getting smaller.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely she's holding it down for performances and stuff like that. She's doing her thing. I just hate to see, people opt up. Like, just imagine a lady be having like 30 dancers on stage. So out of those 30 dancers, only 3 feel some type of way because they not doing the job right. They're not holding it down like they're supposed to. It's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, like I heard that she got a diss song out right now. Dissing them bitches like, oh, they tried to sue me, but I'ma still, like, she said something in the line or something like that in her song, like they can't stop my something like that, something about they tried to sue me, but they can't stop me type shit. I don't know. I like when niggas put it in the music, but I don't know if that was smart. Yeah.
Man, Wack, you a real one, bro. You be showing love in all types of ways, bro. That shit crazy. That's real shit, though.
No, everybody else scared to say something. I'm going to say something. And then when I say it, they going to talk about it. Believe that.
That's a fact. Every time you open some shit up, everybody talk about it.
Yeah, and Jay-Z, I'm at you too, nigga. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to say something. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck.
You at Jay-Z?
Nigga, yeah, nigga, you made the decision, nigga. I said way too much heat on the sister Lizzo. Your courage got you to where you at. Use your courage to fight through these dilemmas. Woman has done nothing wrong. We all have a right to make decisions. entertainers, take note of this. I'd rather your circle not like you for not inviting them than try to destroy your career for allowing them to be there. Be responsible for you. Let them find their own way after the business is done. Jigga, Lizzo needs to be placed back on that Super Bowl show. Oh yeah. Now I done gave the bloggers a reason to talk about it.
Can I wake something up?
You gave a different perspective.
Didn't Jay-Z himself also face backlash many years ago? Because I do recall this incident happening, but I don't know all the behind the scenes, but I'll say it anyways. I remember when Jay-Z stood up for the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, right? And then everyone was banding together to say, well, fuck the NFL, so on and so forth. Only for, in turn, Jay-Z and all of them basically doing an NFL Super Bowl ban and not going to perform, right? Including, i.e., Jane Dupree coming out and speaking out against it. Then, only for him to come back around and do a not under the table, he did a deal with the NFL over something, and I remember Charlemagne and them called him out for it. Now, a lot of people felt some type of way. So it's like, hey, if she gets backlash and she loses opportunity, didn't you also face backlash? So you went against the NFL only for you to go back to it up. But if you get what I'm saying,
I get it, but I think that what he did with that was I never was against that move because that was during that whole Colin Kaepernick shit, and even Colin Kaepernick took a settlement from the league. So shit, if that nigga took a settlement, then why wouldn't somebody else make a deal with him? We can't boycott harder than him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at that situation. Jay-Z taking over that shit, it was alright. But this shit with Lizzo, I definitely believe in innocent until proven guilty. I feel like in this country with the media, they crucify you as soon as somebody throw an allegation on you. That's not it's not a good like public look. Like everybody just separate themselves from just in case, safe and sorry type shit. But that's gonna ruin her whole career. Super Bowl like the biggest performance you can get. So
you know, she's very lucky to even be selected to do the Super Bowl. Usually I see people who have a long discography get to go, but if they felt like she was deserving of that, she was deserving of it.
And they probably had to do with her being big. That was probably part of why they wanted to put out there, so show some representation.
Big, right?
Yeah, so I don't think that aligns.
She's been winning for the past 2 years. I think she got either Album of the Year or Song of the Year at the Grammys. She's been winning awards left and right. She just did that whole documentary. So Lizzo been on top. Her music been charting. She's been getting great numbers. So
Lizzo, a Houston artist, right?
I'm not for sure.
She's from Houston, lived in Detroit, and then she was living in Minnesota for many years. And
Are you trying to claim her? Are you trying to steal her?
Yeah. She's not from Minnesota. She lived here though. Quick. But I will say that she did have a great opportunity in her early career to work with Prince at the time when he was still alive. So kudos. She learned from the legend.
In her first album, her songs, she been made those songs. It's just that it just didn't catch a break until she put out her first album. So that's dope too.
I've seen Lizzo many years ago perform at Duluth, University of Minnesota Duluth Homecoming, and she had that song. So it's an old song for many years ago. It just blew up, many years later, which does definitely. Okay, question. I got a question. Who would be your guys' dream Super Bowl performance? Who would you guys actually want to see?
Beyonce.
Again?